Winter 2025 isn't going to be just another cold season. It's shaping up to be one of the strangest and most dangerous winters we've seen in years. And if you're not prepared, you won't just be uncomfortable. You could actually be in real danger. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal 10 must-have items that every household needs to survive what's coming. And listen carefully. Number 7 is something almost nobody talks about, but it could literally save your life when everything else fails. I've been digging deep, checking NOAA's latest winter forecasts, scanning emergency preparedness data, and even looking into insider reports from power companies and supply chains. And what I found is pretty alarming. We're talking about wild temperature swings, serious supply shortages, and a sharp rise in winter storm blackouts that could make 2014 look like a warm-up round. This winter isn't just about keeping warm, it's about keeping yourself fed, connected, and safe when the grid inevitably goes down. But before we jump in, I want to hear from you. Have you noticed anything strange already? Maybe shelves looking emptier than usual, propane prices skyrocketing, or your local store running out of the basics. Drop your experience in the comments, because those little signs could be the first warnings that this winter is already breaking the rules. Alright, let's get started. Item number 10, comfort food that actually keeps you going. Because let's be honest, food isn't just about calories, it's about morale. When the power's out, the heat is gone, and your living room feels like an icebox. The last thing you want is to force down cold beans straight from the can. You need something warm, hearty, and familiar, something that lifts your spirits as much as it fills your stomach. This is where shelf-stable comfort food comes in. Think mac and cheese that cooks with just hot water, or soups with real vegetables like carrots and potatoes, instead of that gray mush nobody wants to eat. Freeze-dried chili with chunks of beef and beans? Instant mashed potatoes that taste like grandma just whipped them up? Trust me, these aren't just survival foods, they're survival experiences. I'll give you a quick story. Last winter, during a blackout, I whipped up a simple batch of shelf-stable mashed potatoes for my kids. Instead of panicking, they thought we were having an indoor camping trip. That one warm meal turned a stressful night into a memory. That's the power of good food. It keeps you calm, connected, and in control. Here's a pro tip. Don't just buy and forget these meals. Rotate them into your normal pantry, eat them on regular nights, and replace them as you go. That way your supply stays fresh, and you get to enjoy better food year-round. And hey, for my foodies out there, yes, you can even get freeze-dried meals with truffle oil and wild mushrooms. Who says survival can't come with a little luxury? Now, once you've got food covered, there's something even more critical, because when the lights go out, the very first thing you'll reach for is your phone. And that brings us to item number 9. Now let's be real, what's the very first thing you grab when the power goes out? Your phone. But here's the problem. No electricity means your battery drains way faster than you expect. And once that screen goes black, you're completely cut off. No flashlight, no emergency alerts, no weather updates, no way to call for help. That's not just inconvenient, it's flat out dangerous. That's why you need a portable power bank. Think of it as your lifeline during a blackout. But not just any little charger you toss in a backpack, you want one that actually packs a punch. Look for at least 20,000 milliamp hours. That's enough to charge most phones 4 or 5 times, and some heavy-duty models can even power tablets, lanterns, or rechargeable flashlights. But here's where you can level up, get one with a solar backup. Now don't expect miracles, you're not going to fully charge it in a couple of hours under the winter sun. But even a trickle charge on a clear day can give you just enough power to send a text, make a quick call, or check an urgent weather update. And in a blackout, that little sliver of power can be the difference between calm and chaos. The best part, you don't need to spend hundreds of dollars. Solid, reliable models are out there for under $50, less than what most people blow on takeout in a single night. I keep mine plugged in right by my coffee maker, so it's always charged and ready. No stress, no scrambling at the last minute. When the lights go out, I know I've got backup power waiting for me. And here's a tip you don't want to skip. Test it before you need it. Run your phone off it, charge a flashlight, see how long it lasts. The worst time to find out you've got a dud is when you're already sitting in the dark. Trust me, this little gadget is worth every penny. Now, keeping your phone alive is huge, but let's talk about something most people completely overlook. Your windows. Those innocent-looking panes of glass? They're actually giant ice magnets that suck heat out of your home like a vacuum. And that brings us to item number 8. Thermal curtains and DIY draft stoppers. Picture this. The power's out, your house is freezing, and you're staring at a half-frozen lasagna in the fridge wondering if eating it cold counts as survival. That's when the real hero steps in. The multi-fuel camp stove. Now don't let the name fool you. This isn't just for hardcore campers or wilderness survivalists. It's for anyone who wants to keep eating real food when the grid goes down, and the microwave is nothing more than a dark, silent box on your counter. Here's why a multi-fuel stove is a game changer. It doesn't tie you down to one type of fuel. Propane? Sure. White gas? Yup. Kerosene or even alcohol-based fuel? Absolutely. And that flexibility is everything. Because when a big storm rolls through, propane disappears from shelves faster than toilet paper did in 2020. With a stove that runs on multiple fuels, you've always got a backup option. I'll give you a real example. Last winter during a 3-day outage, I set mine up right in the kitchen. I cracked a window for ventilation, fired it up and cooked a full breakfast, scrambled eggs, toast, and even coffee. My kids thought we were on some kind of vacation adventure. Meanwhile, my dog was busy plotting ways to steal the bacon. That's the difference between surviving and actually living. Warm, comforting food keeps morale high when everything else feels uncertain. And don't think you're stuck with survival rations. You can simmer a pot of soup, fry crispy potatoes, or flip pancakes with those golden edges just like a Sunday morning. Trust me, eating something you actually enjoy in the middle of a blackout changes everything. Now, safety first. Never run a stove in a closed room. Ventilation is non-negotiable. But with a little care, a multi-fuel stove is far safer than fumbling with open flames or trying to improvise a fire indoors. The good news? Most solid stoves cost between $50 and $80. That's less than a single dinner out for a family of 4, and they fold up small enough to tuck in a closet or slide under your bed. When the cold sets in and the grid goes down, this little stove isn't just about keeping you fed. It's about keeping you sane. Because nothing says comfort in chaos like a hot meal you didn't have to eat cold out of a can. Now, food is important, but here's something even more critical: staying warm. And spoiler alert, your favorite hoodie in a blanket burrito won't cut it. That's why item number 6 is all about smart layering, and it might just save you when the temperature in your own home drops below freezing. When the power goes out and the heat's gone, most people panic about food, flashlights, and blankets. But you know what almost everyone forgets until it's too late? Water. And that mistake can be deadly. You can survive weeks without food, but only a few short days without clean drinking water. Think about it. When the electricity cuts off, so do the pumps that bring water into your home. If the pipes freeze, they burst. And suddenly the tap you've always trusted is either bone dry or spitting out something that looks like swamp water. And here's the kicker: boiling it isn't always enough to make it safe. So here's the deal. You need to store water before you need it. The rule of thumb? At least 1 gallon per person, per day. That covers drinking, cooking, and the bare minimum for hygiene. Do the math. A family of 4 needs 12 gallons just to get through 3 days. And believe me, when the roads are iced over and shelves are empty, that water will feel like gold. Now, don't overthink it. You don't need fancy survival containers. Clean plastic jugs from juice or soda work just fine. But if you want to go pro, pick up some food-grade barrels from a hardware store. Label them, tuck them away in a cool dark spot. And here's the trick: rotate them every 6 months. Drink the old water, refill with fresh, and your supply stays ready year-round. But what if you run out? That's where purification comes in. A simple straw filter can save your life. It lets you drink straight from streams, melted snow, or even the water in your toilet tank. And yes, I said tank, not the bowl. You can also keep purification drops in your kit. A couple drops can kill bacteria and viruses in minutes. I keep extras in my car, because you just never know. Some portable filters even double as water bottles. Just fill, squeeze, and boom, you've got safe drinking water in seconds. And don't forget your pets. They need clean water too. One winter, my dog flat out refused to drink from a bowl I'd filled with sketchy water. She just stared at me like, "You've got to be kidding." That moment drove the lesson home. Clean water isn't optional. It's survival. So while everyone else is panic buying ramen noodles and hoping for the best, you'll be the smart one with gallons of safe drinkable water tucked away. And that peace of mind is priceless. Now, food and water will keep you alive, but survival is about more than just the basics. Because when the storm really hits, the next item on this list becomes the difference between being blind in the dark and being the only house on the block that's still shining. Let's talk about something old school, something most people overlook, that could literally save your life in a blackout: a battery-powered radio. Yeah, I know. It sounds like something your grandparents would keep on the shelf, but hear me out. When the grid is down, your phone is dead, and the Wi-Fi is gone, How else are you going to know what's happening outside your front door? No weather alerts, no road updates, no word on when power will be restored. That's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. A simple battery-powered radio becomes your lifeline. It doesn't rely on the grid. It doesn't care if your phone is nothing but a useless brick. All it needs is a couple of AA or AAA batteries, and it's ready to keep you connected when everything else fails. If you want to level up, grab one with a solar panel or hand crank backup. Some of the smarter models even double as flashlights and phone chargers. I bought mine for just $25, and it's been worth every single penny. Here's why. It automatically plays no weather alerts, so I don't even need to remember to check. When a storm is coming, it lets me know. It's like having a tiny, reliable guardian angel that never sleeps. Last winter, when the grid went down for nearly 48 hours, my radio was the only thing keeping us in the loop. It told us when the roads would be plowed, when the power company expected to fix the outage, and even when schools were closed. And here's the nostalgic part, it plays AM/FM stations. While the storm howled outside, we sipped hot chocolate, tuned into some old-school music, and for a moment, it felt like we'd been transported back to the 80s. My kids thought it was the coolest thing ever. That's the beauty of a radio, its simplicity. No apps, no passwords, no software updates. Just turn it on, tune in, and get the information you need. When everything else fails, this little box can be the difference between calm and chaos. It's not just a gadget, it's peace of mind. But that's only half the story. Because when the lights go out, most people instinctively reach for candles. And sure, they're cozy, they flicker nicely, and they make your living room look like a Jane Austen novel. But here's the harsh truth. Candles are a disaster waiting to happen. They're dim, they barely light up a room, and one wrong move, or worse, falling asleep with one burning, turns your blackout into a house fire. That's why item number 3 is so much smarter, LED lanterns. These things are absolute game changers. They're bright, safe, and designed to last. Unlike flashlights that die after 15 minutes, a solid LED lantern can run for 50 hours or more on a single set of batteries. That's 2 full days of reliable light, no recharging, no risk. Last winter, I hung one in my living room during a storm, and suddenly everything felt normal again. My kids could read their books, I could actually find my coffee mug, and even the dog stopped bumping into furniture. It's crazy how much of a difference good lighting makes when the world outside feels like it's falling apart. Some models even let you adjust the brightness, from a soft evening glow to a full room-filling beam. You can cook, play board games, or simply sit back without feeling like you're trapped in the dark. And at under $30, it's probably one of the smartest, safest investments you can make before winter hits. And here's where it gets even better, because the next item on this list won't just keep you comfortable, it could actually keep you alive when the temperature inside your house drops lower than the temperature outside. Item 2. Emergency toilet solutions. Because nature doesn't wait, let's talk about the problem no one likes to admit: bathrooms. When the power goes out, everyone worries about food, heat, and light. But here's the reality. If your plumbing stops working, your bathroom instantly turns from a convenience into a crisis. No power means no water pumps. Frozen pipes mean no flushing. And suddenly, your bathroom becomes a ticking time bomb. Sounds dramatic. Wait until it happens. That's why you need an emergency toilet solution. A portable dry toilet might not sound glamorous, but trust me, it's a lifesaver. For about $60, you can get one with a removable tank and odor control chemicals. No water needed. If you're not ready to go that route, keep it simple. A bucket lined with heavy-duty bags and a packet of waste gel.